Hey everybody, my name is Jeremy McCoon and I am the social media and regional marketing director for an international dance competition. And I'm coming to you on my Snapchat app, not because of some cool new live feature, though I wish that were the case. I want to talk to you about a feature that's been available on Snapchat for some time now that you can use that can reach a pretty broad audience for not a lot of time, not a lot of effort, and not a lot of money. These are Snapchat on-demand geofilters. Our dance competition has been using these for the past year, and I've had a lot of dance studio owners and directors ask me how we upload these. So I decided to put together this little video to show you how to do this. So first, what is a Snapchat on-demand geofilter? It's based on your location. So let's say you're a dance studio and you have a recital. You want to have a graphic available that your dancers can use, that they can post and basically tell everybody that they're at your recital. So you would upload this graphic, you would set the parameters for it, which is pretty simple to do, and then you pay for it and you're good to go. So first, let me show you what a filter is here. So I'm going to take a little selfie, and it's starting to thunder out here, so I'm going to make this quick. And I'm going to start swiping through. These are all different filters that are available with Snapchat. Here we go. This is a geofilter. So this is not an on-demand geofilter. This was done for a municipality. I live near the city of Frederick, Maryland. I'm going to add another filter to kind of make that pop a little. There we go. So this is based on the fact that I am near the city of Frederick, Maryland, and it works just the same for your events. So if you upload a graphic similar to this one, and you set it up and say, well, I want this to happen around this specific theater or maybe my business location, this is the filter, or this is a filter that could show up for your business. And in fact, I want to talk to you for a second because you can actually even do this on an annual plan, and it's still really cheap. In fact, I heard a studio that was only paying about $350 a year for an on-demand filter that they were using at their studio. So really inexpensive and really easy to do. So now that you know what one is, let me show you how to upload one. I'm here at the Snapchat website, ready to get started on uploading my geofilter. So the first thing you want to do, you want to go to Snapchat's website. This is snapchat.com/on-demand. That will take you specifically to this page where you can create your filters. I'm going to click the black Create Now button. And that is going to take me here to this next page. Now, what I like to do before I really get going, I like to make sure I'm logged in. So let's let them know I'm not a robot. And just so you know, this is my Snapchat profile. So you can find me at jeremy.mccoon. We're going to click the login button. It gives it a minute to think. And once I'm here, I have a choice. I can either upload a filter that I already created, or I can use one of Snapchat's templates that they have set up for you. And these are really simple to use. You can go through and check out all the different filters that are available. They have more than just the 3 that are there. Click the arrow buttons. It'll show you all this stuff. But I already created a filter for what I want to do. So I'm going to go and choose that one. Open that up. And this is kind of generic. I found an image that had some buildings in it. This has nothing to do with Newmarket, Maryland. It just kind of looks like a main street, so that's why I chose that. Didn't put a whole lot into this filter, but I did want to show you exactly how to do this. So I want to point out a couple things. First of all, to be able to make this work, it has to be a .png file. A .png file. You can create those using Photoshop. You can create them using Illustrator. You can use Canva, and it'll give you a PNG. There's all sorts of ways that you can do this. All the ones within Snapchat are all PNG filters. Just make sure it's a PNG filter and that there's a lot of transparency. So the only parts of this image that are not transparent is the Newmarket, Maryland, and the buildings here at the bottom. All the rest of this is all transparent. So when somebody takes a photo and they swipe to put this image over top, you can see that photo. And Snapchat will actually tell you, hey, just in case your photo, you've either submitted a JPEG or your PNG is, there's no transparent pixels. Like, it looks for that kind of stuff. So it'll give you a heads up in case that's in there. But once I have my filter up, Then I'm going to click the next button. And I come to the first set of parameters that I have for my Geofilter. This is the dates and the times that you can set up. So you can type in the dates, you can select the dates, whatever you want to do here. You can even do a little drop down, and that's got all the different times in there. So you can select specific times that you want this filter to run. You can run it for multiple days like this. So we've got this one running the 17th through the 22nd. You can even go up and, like I said, you can do a biannually so that you have something running at your business all year round. Again, very cheap, so I recommend it if you can do that. But I'm only going to run this. Oh, I do want to make sure to give you a heads up. If you have a multiple day event, let's say your event runs from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. on the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Rather than having this run 24 hours a day throughout all of these days, I actually recommend you would submit a different filter for each one of those days. So I would upload a filter and set this one for 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. on the 17th. And then I'll upload it's the same file, but I'll upload it again and then rename it to something else and say, okay, well, I want it from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. on the 18th, and so on and so forth. It could potentially save you quite a bit of money, so I recommend checking it out if you have a chance to do that. All right, but I'm just going to run it for one day. So this is going to run it for an hour between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. on today. And this is based on the time zone that you're in. So right now I'm in New York. I'm on the East Coast. So it's going to give me the Eastern time zone. If I'm trying to do this from the Central time zone, it's going to give me that. Wherever you're located, it's going to be based on those times. So if you're changing time zones, make sure to keep that in mind and do the math beforehand. Usually not a problem for local businesses. We'll click next, and you'll see this file or this image pull up. This is Google Maps. They use Google Maps, so it makes it super easy to find this. I want to do a search, and you would search it just like you would Google Maps. Very easy. And I'm going to zoom in because I'm going to use one of these locations. Now, I have some tips on locations. Make sure to do your research. Do your research. Please make sure you do research. So let's say most dance studios are going to recitals and they have them at schools. You can do one of several things. You can pull up Google Maps itself. Sometimes the images or sometimes the maps are just a little bit different. They may give you a little bit more detail than the one that's here within Snapchat. So it may actually say, here's your auditorium. So you can kind of match it up to wherever that auditorium is based on this school. The other thing you can do, you can call the school up and say, hey, where's your auditorium in your school? I've done that many, many times, and it's usually not an issue as far as trying to find that information from those phone calls. Another thing you can do, which is even simpler maybe, is to actually go to the location. Go to wherever it is you're having this event, stand where your event's going to be, and pull up one of your maps on your phone, and it will tell you exactly where you are as long as your Wi-Fi is turned on. It will tell you exactly where you are located. So that can help you kind of find your location and make sure this all works. I'm not going to use the school. I'm actually going to use the park since it's a nice square thing here. And all you do, you just hit that draw fence button at the bottom. It'll bring up these crosshairs, and then you just left click once when you want to drop a little pin down, and this is drawing your fence. So this is actually drawing the container where you can access this Geofilter. So if somebody is inside this fence that I just drew, they can find my filter. If they're not inside the fence, they can't find my filter. And you can always go back and readjust this however you want to. You can drag your handles out. Let's say I want to get this neighborhood in here. So I'm going to drag my handles out and get part of the neighborhood. I can do all sorts of different things. If I change my mind, I can delete. If I right click on these little buttons, it'll actually delete those pins. And if I make a mistake, I can hit reset fence and do it all over again. So there's a lot of, you have some freedom and some ability to be able to really work with this thing. And each time you drag out one of these pins, it'll give you more pins. So I can drag this out and really shape it up to whatever building I'm looking at. But again, I'm going to delete all of this because that's all I want. Click the next button, and it brings us to the submit page. couple things you need to do here. You need to name your filter. New market Geofilter filter test. I need to tell Snapchat what kind of filter this is. Is it a personal filter? Is it for a wedding or a birthday or something like that? Or is it a business filter? Do I have my business logo on this filter? I need to make sure that I select business. Okay. I'm going to select business for this one. We'll pull it up and I can name it. Name my business here. And then I click, you put in your payment information if you haven't done so already. You click the button here at the bottom to say that you agree to their policy. And then you click submit. And the great thing about Snapchat is they communicate really well with customers. So once you purchase one of these filters, they'll tell you when they're reviewing it. They'll tell you when they have accepted it. They'll tell you when they're charging for it. They will tell you when it's done. They'll tell you when your statistics are ready, so you can see how well the filter is done. They just keep you in the loop so that you know every step of the process that's going on as these filters are running. So super easy process, and you're well informed throughout. I'm going to come back to you in just a moment, and we'll actually get to use our filter. So stay tuned. Our filter's up and running and working correctly. That's how you do it. In the next videos, I will show you how to create these in various programs and give you some tips. See you on the flip side.